Usually it's just the pocket soldier and then the other scout will just kind of rotate as needed. But
Okay.
if you know that they're absolutely going to do it every single time, then you can rotate your scout over earlier. It's kind of like your flank scout on this map is kind of your swing player, and then your person in the right house can also be kind of a swing player. Like if they hear like they're pushing the house, that you can jump across like from window to window if there's like nothing going on over there. Which if they're pushing two on this house, then there probably isn't a whole lot going on. And then like come to help this house, but then he has to call that like my house is open, so just be wary of that. Um, so yeah, I mean, just having your pocket watch, it's fine. Just have your pocket if you knows he's gonna get pushed, play a little bit more passive, and then you can either. It's kind of up to you guys how you want to play it, but you can have either your flank scout or your roamer kind of be the swing man to come over and help.
Okay.
Main thing is like as long as you're like keeping in mind what you're kind of predicting what they're doing, and then playing accordingly. Just there's not like one answer. You just gotta play to adapt and be aware that if you know they're for sure doing it, then yeah, you can maybe move a player there earlier. If you're not really sure, then maybe just kind of take normal positions, but play in a way in positions where you can adapt to what they're doing. You guys do pretty good on this mid, not feeding after you get these picks. It should be pretty free then after you get these. So you guys do a good job not feeding. I don't really like this play 6 as Oliver's making over here. This is a little bit aggressive. Almost got taken out by if that person's like a second slower. Not too bad though. So getting out of the pick. So we really don't have to do a whole lot here. I'm surprised they kind of get across pretty cleanly, which is kind of odd, but I think they can just like win at an odd time, and they kind of fucked themselves, so I'm not too worried about it. So far, this was mostly good, but like you guys, when you killed them, wait, no, the Mets. Wait, where's the Met? I don't know. I think the main thing though is like I don't like how you guys ended this fight so split up. Like you had 3 people on the far side, 3 people on this side. I'd rather just play it a little bit more controlled there. Like if you're gonna go across and chase the Met, I think your team should just all go across together. That way, at least together for the post fight. It's like this happens on like pretty much every Goth map. Like some people decide to chase the Met and it ends up like being half the team chasing the Met and half the team over here, and usually that just ends up in people like getting caught feeding or split up, or you don't have enough people around your Med, so then people die in the post, and then it becomes a bad fight. So I'd say like after any of these trades, I really want you guys to emphasize being together for the most part in the post fight. Like I don't mean you have to like literally 6-man death ball, but I mean it would be like generally on the same side of the map, so you can actually help each other. Like if one person wants, like 1 or 2 people want to really go for the hard chase, and like you're okay with them dying for it, that's fine. But be aware, like they're probably going to die for it if you're gonna play like that. So just consciously make that decision. So again, like you guys are playing this pretty good. You have a pick, so you don't. It's okay if they cap. They're just gonna deny the guy, and you can still like play this fight and retake. So you guys are kind of like going off time. Like you guys are teams. I think this is kind of what Zora was talking about earlier. This is like a different situation, but still like the same idea. Like you just have people that aren't really communicating when your team's not healthy. Because like we have all these 2 people making a play over here. Everyone else is getting killed up over here. So if you guys just regroup, your team just like calls around healthy, regroup. You guys can heal up, and then you just win this 6v4 fight like 3 seconds later. But now you're like giving them a chance to come back. I mean, it ends up kind of working out because they kind of beefed, but that could have been much worse for you guys. So yeah, have the point. Just have to be a little bit careful. Down 1 soldier.
Right. So, say
Yeah.
your soldier and scout still want to make that play. Would you say a good idea would be to be like, ask, hey, can we push right before they push it, and make sure Shoe Shocker can like say, no, don't push it, we're healing up, or yes, we're ready to fight, and then like go off of that kind of thing? Or you think that's what
Yes.
should be done?
Yeah, I think that's the right idea, but here's kind of a column optimization thing. It should be less about can we do this? You should say we are doing this, and then if no one tells you not to do it, then assume it's okay. It's like if you have me ask, hey guys, I want to have a discussion.
Holy
Can we
shit,
push
I've
this
been
house
going
right
so long
now?
that hurt my fucking wrist.
And it's like, oh, yeah, you know, I've thought about it. You have permission to push the house. Okay, now it's like, I feel like every time that happens, like 4 seconds pass and the play's gone by then. So it's better to say we're doing something, and then if your team doesn't tell you not to do it, then assume you can do it.
So Shoeshocker says no, like you say, oh, we're pushing right house, and then like, no, don't push, and then
Yeah.
calm
I think
down.
that's how it should be. I think that's how it should be.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it's like, oh, can we? That's like, it's too late. Because like, if you're not
Okay.
going already, then your window's probably going to be gone in most cases. So this is kind of on defense. You guys need to stop having the point party. There should usually never be two combat classes getting killed on the point. Here you have like your demo and your scout both on the point. They're both taking damage, and it's inevitably gonna have to pop a shit over in those situations.
Okay.
So I just say make sure like you don't have two people on the point at the same time, and like I mean obviously there's gonna be exceptions, but as a general rule of thumb, that's you usually don't want both your scout and your soldier, or scout and your demo, on the point at the same time. You guys trying to get out here. You guys just need to go. You're taking too long. You guys like. Okay, this is better. All right, now you're through. But like you had one guy through it. I think you should have just shot a rocket and gone, or someone gets blown up to get blown up. Fuck it. Hesitating's like one of the worst things you could do, like on these goth pushes. I feel like. Obviously, like literally like suicide, but like you gotta take a little bit of risk. It's really okay to take some risk that someone might die just walking through, because those trades are good for you as long as you get through and then trade that kill out.
I have another question, right? Like there
Yeah.
on our push out, did you notice how as we were pushing out, a guy shoved the left house? I guess our right house, like because
Yeah.
we were like, I guess we were capping. What do you think we should be doing? Do we send like a soldier, like watching the door as we're pushing out, or does our soldier play to like help our combo? You know,
Yeah, I don't
push
think
out
you can
better.
really afford to have like a soldier just like sitting there the whole time. I think you guys just have to like everyone just needs to be like cognizantly aware of it that
Okay.
something could come from there. If like you guys play like Dota or League or any game like that,
No,
Smite.
I
don't,
have
but-
played a MOBA before.
Okay, never mind. But basically, just keep in mind that like if you know that it's unspotted, then it's maybe dangerous. So you just it's something you have to keep like your mind occupied with until it's cleared. So just play as long as you're like aware of the threat, then you can play. You're naturally going to play accordingly.
He's helping our combo push out the other team. Like he just
Mhm.
screams out, watch, like I'm not watching right house, or like
Yeah,
'cause
ideally, yeah.
we wouldn't know unless he says it, right?
Yeah, ideally. I mean, you should probably like call like you know what he's doing, and if you know he's doing that, then you know he's not watching that. But you know, if it helps for him to like specifically say he's not doing it, then that's also a good calm.
Okay.
Like
Who's
that
gonna
applies
head
to you know, and that applies to every map really.
I'd
Just
say.
like anytime like something's not, you just have to keep. And this is like more important for like demos and that since they're the most vulnerable, and pocket scouts as well. But it really applies to everybody. If you know something's not watched, you know that you should assume that place is dangerous, and you need to like keep your mind on it until it's proven not dangerous, basically. And as long as you're like aware of those things, then like you're gonna play accordingly naturally if you actually are aware of it. Like say let's say you're playing like Nut or something, or like Combo Scout, and you're like you know that like nobody cleared a corner. You're gonna assume that corner is dangerous until like proven otherwise. Or if you know like a soldier is in that corner, then naturally you're not gonna go into that corner and just run into him and die. So you have almost the same mentality about things that aren't cleared, basically. That's really important for like any combo class, or just really anyone in general. Yeah, this is just Shushaka got too aggressive there. I don't mind the getting aggressive on these people pushing out some situationally if it's working out for your team, but your scout needs to be a little bit more careful because losing one like that's pretty bad now. Like if you waited for like the soldier behind to initiate, maybe it could have worked out a little bit more because then they're not all focusing him, but he just kind of ran forward and got focused down. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do it if they have so what I do in these situations, if we're down a scout and it's like 5v5, you can just kind of keep the forward hold sometimes if you're confident. I'd say it's just like a confidence, like if it's not working, then I wouldn't do it again. But if it feels like their team's having trouble getting through it, then I just keep doing it until it stops working. If it's like those 5v5 situations, if it's like you're down, and that's if you're down a scout. If you're down a projectile class, I wouldn't try to forward hold. What you can do is you can like stack up over here to like spam down, like force them to come out over here and then kite back, and then like reset on your side. It's just get some early, like do some damage to the people over here, maybe spam some over here and back off. That's one thing you can do. But I wouldn't like try to do the actual forward hold while you're down a projectile class. I'd basically like stack it to the right side if you're going to do anything at all, and then be ready to leave very, very quickly once it's through left. And then if you try, like maybe like someone dies your trap or like someone comes out the top right early and gets blown up, then that can be really good because now you can turn it back into like an actual fight. But you know, if nothing like that happens, then you want to back up. You're kind of like putting them in a situation where they might make a mistake, basically, and then possibly turning that into a better hold. But if they actually like just play smart and like send their team out left and just you like retreat through house and back up to point, reset on your side, and just play it even. That's one thing you can do. It's also complete. You don't have to do that though. It's also completely viable. Just 5v5, play forward position, or down a projectile class, play like forward, get some early spam, and then just kite back like normal. That's also completely okay. Either of those options are okay.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Yeah, I'll keep, yeah, I'll keep it on his cam. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna guess what's happening. I haven't been paying attention to what he's saying specifically. I'm assuming that he's trying to pressure the cap when you don't have control of the house. You have to control the house before you pressure the cap most of the time. I mean, you can like dance off, get like just touch it barely, but most of the time, if you don't have control of at least one house, you're just gonna get spammed off almost instantly because you have shots coming from both, like all three sides, basically. So ideally, you want you want to call like clear a house, get control of the house. When someone goes to have control of the house, then you want to start edging. Because otherwise, like you're just gonna get shot off and take damage and not really get much cap time. Like, okay, right now, like we have control of the house, and I guess pushed out. We could edge. I guess it doesn't matter. They're down to med. Let's fast forward through this. See a better example. Okay, yeah, like right now they're down to soldier. We have house control. Not too bad to edge. He's also like he doesn't need to. He needs to set up like trying to ship that guy in the house. Like he can just like play around the corner and cap instead of like trading ship shots for rockets. Yeah. Yeah. Uh so yeah, that's the thing about Bagel. It feels like there's a lot of things you can do, and it's just going to depend on like how the team, the strength and weaknesses of the team you're playing. I think. So yeah, there are basically two ways you do it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, anyways, basically two ways you could do it. Like, yeah, you could either just have your scout cap, then kind of bunker up, have your med play like closer to main, where you can dip around the corner. and then leave that way. Or you can just kind of play normally like you guys did, and then just play to kill their 4-man and turn it into a horde hold. Honestly, I kind of like that better because like good teams will be like, oh, there's these that's like being back over here, but there's like people over here. We're just gonna kill those players, and then I mean, yeah, you still have uber advantage, but you're down 2 players, so it's gonna be very hard for you to actually get good value out of it. So what I would try to do is be ready for the 4-man, but I don't know. Like, I'd really say it's up to you guys. You can do either option, but just keep in mind there's both options, and you should just try both. Personally, what I prefer, what I think is more consistent and is easier to do, just play out here, um, play with your team, and get ready to kill their 4-man. Don't drop any players, and if you don't drop any players, you can turn it into a 4 goal. So that's what I do first of all. But if you feel like that's not really working for you, like they're like doing a very weak 4-man and then just kind of backing off and you're not getting anything, then you could try bunking your med and forcing them to like make a more aggressive play. It's one of those like classic like TF2 things. TF2 is all about just kind of adapting to what your enemies are doing. There's very few like definitely like when you guys we're playing like in amateur newcomers. It's kind of just like do this one thing, just keep it simple. But as you get higher and higher, it'll be more about just kind of understanding what other team is doing, and then tried one thing, this thing isn't working, let's try a different thing. And you don't have to have like a million strats. Just like if you have like 2 or 3 things you can try, that's completely fine. So yeah, let's see the Shushan again. This is like another even situation. Yeah. Right here, see, like he's not taking a whole lot of damage because like you have control of the houses. I mean, you got a little aggro there, but oh no, not too bad. Yeah, really like what he did there. I don't know what we used there. When we had a kill, we can afford to drop 1 scout there. I mean, at the end of the day, like using to save players can be good if you actually have a way to like make them use or kill players. In this case, like you're so far out, there's no way you're actually gonna get anything out of that Uber. So it wasn't really any point. Or it's like a situation where it's like you have to multi-flash like 3 people because they're all gonna die instantly. That's one thing, but like when you're using to save players, you want to like at least be thinking about like what can I get with this Uber if we use to save players. So yeah, okay, so there's a good situation to see if we're gonna edge. Okay, who's mad? Yeah, I just want to see like kind of I just want to see like these edging situations. So yeah, even numbers, like they're coming in. I like the early spam. This is nice. Yeah, you guys kind of gave that up pretty easy. I'm not sure what happened there. Looked like you guys just kind of both got forced out of both houses somehow. I like the rewind. See. Alright, do you guys have any other particular questions about this demo? Otherwise, I want to just go over a few quick map-specific things. Mhm. Yeah, are you saying like you're shoving through here, or? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I, I don't play pocket, so honestly, I'm not quite sure. But I probably assume that playing for your life, like playing back here, I assume you're playing kind of like you. Yeah, I think this is fun. I think playing for your life makes more sense, especially if you're on defense. Like I wouldn't. This like just puts you in a situation to get like pinched from both sides too easily, unless you like know that there's no threat coming through there. But if you think there can be a threat, then I think just like playing further back is completely fine. Only other thought I have about this is yeah, I'm just gonna watch it a little bit more to see if I notice anything. Okay, their meta is trolling. That's like his third drop. Yeah, I don't know. So I'd probably say like another thing. Bagel. I'd really recommend your scout, at least your combo scout, run the winger on this map. It's really useful for being able to like get on the point and like maneuver around the terrain. There's not that much terrain you can jump on without the winger on this map. So like as an example, it just seems like it takes shockers like on the ground a lot, and you don't really want to be playing on like on the nipple all the time. But it is something you can like jump around a little bit easier. Like right here, you have to like do this, like get kind of close, then go for it. Instead of a winger, you can just like jump up here, help much faster, jump to the point easier. Yeah, you can jump like from you can jump like from like the baseline. It's like if you're not, then you have to like get up a little bit closer, and then it's kind of an awkward jump where you're stuck there. There's another thing about like the wingers, like you can make this jump, sure it's fine, but like you're kind of like forced to land in a predictable position. If I jump with the winger, I can land like over here. I can vary my movement. I have like a little bit more room to kind of airstreak around. I think you can also make the point jump from here. I think I fucked it up. You know, but yeah, like either way, like you can get a lot of just a lot easier to maneuver around this point. I mean, it's definitely more preference. I'm not saying you have to win it. I'm just saying it's something you might want to consider. I do think this is a pretty good winged map though, but pistol's still viable. I'm not saying it's not. So just another thing to consider. I think another thing. Yeah, like you said, that was a good point. You need to watch out. Like you don't have to literally watch it. I mean, if someone can watch it, that's nice. Like maybe if you push out, a soldier pushes through here. Like helps gets buff, pushes the people out of here. That can be great because then you don't have to worry about being flanked through there. But if you're not going to do that, like if you need a soldier to jump or something, you just have to keep mental tabs on it and move past it quickly. So you're not just like you don't want to like stall right here, where you're getting spammed from here and getting pinched from over there. You want to like spread out pretty quickly if you can. Does that all kind of make sense? Do you have any other questions? So you're on offense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd probably say like it probably comes down to four things. Like one, it might be your demo and scout are staying on the point too often together, so they're getting having to like back off together and not getting able to kind of like cycle out back and forth a little bit. Another thing could be your team is just again kind of like goes to that early point I had about make sure your team's like making plays at the same time when you're actually healthy. Like making sure you're calling like when to regroup, re-heal, and go together. Because otherwise, if like your team's trying to make half your team's trying to make plays because they're healthy and half your team's not, then like they're basically playing a 3v6. So that kind of like ends up okay. Now those people get right, even if they don't die. Now we wait for them. Now these people go for it, but now they're playing 3v6. So it just turns into this big mess of like people playing like two different games basically. So that's another thing that often leads to that. Third thing, like I said, it could just be shoe shockers taking too much damage. Maybe just needs to like be a little bit more aware of like movement wise and trying to minimize damage. Probably the fourth thing, like I said, if you're trying to edge the cap without taking control of the house first, then that's probably going to lead to just your scout getting pushed off instantly. And then he's getting killed, so then these people are getting killed, so then these people can't take the house, so then the scout can't edge the point. You just end up in this deadlock where you can't do anything. So that's another thing that happens to a lot of teams. Does that all kind of make sense?
So, would you say a good thing to do would be everyone heals up, is ready, and then we shove the right house, and as we're shoving the right house, they're gonna, it's gonna force them to take a few steps back so that their scout can rotate over and, what is it, like take a few steps back and help the two people that are in right house, and in that time we can take the cap. But then the two players that pushed right house should just like jump out. Is that what you're saying? Like, should we just like should those players like once they force the enemy team to back up a little, like just jump out of there?
No, I'm not saying any particular play. I'm just saying like whatever play you're making, it needs to be your team's health needs to be in sync, basically. So your play could be let's bomb across and do something. Your play could be let's shove the right house. Your play could be let's shove the left house. It doesn't really matter what your play is. Your play could be let's just push this guy out and then take the cap. This play could be let's shove this house and let's full commit. It could be any play you want, as long as your team's like doing it together. That's a big issue I saw from like that game there, in kind of like multiple ways. It seems like just making different plays at different times just doesn't make sense with your health bars, basically. In this case, like yeah, I mean that is an option you could do. Like you just buff these two players up on the right, they shove the right house, they push this guy out, then that buys some time. We have control of the right house for a little bit. Now we can touch this cap. Maybe this guy comes out, maybe turn this into pick, something like that. But then from there, you're kind of playing adaptive. So that could be a thing you try. You don't always have to like full commit behind. You could also just say, okay, let's buff up our, let's bring our flank scout over here and buff our pocket. Now we push these guys out. Now we edge from the left. That could be another thing you do. So all those are options. But the big point I'm trying to make is just make sure that your team's aware of like the health situation and that your team's actually ready to move as a unit rather than half your team going forward, getting hurt, they get healed, other half goes forward, they get hurt, they get healed, and then you're playing like 3v6 constantly. Which that happens to a lot of teams on Bagel. So yeah, let me know if that helps. I know that's maybe a little bit more of an advanced concept, but it's kind of what I was seeing from what's happening to your team. So let me know if you have any questions with that. Yeah, I have a few more minutes, but yeah, I think so. I guess how to fix that basically it really comes down to comms. It needs to be on. I mean, it really needs to be on everybody. It's like calling what plays you're making. If people are calling plays and other people aren't ready, they need to basically say they're not ready. So I don't think it really. I mean, ideally, like it's good for your medic to call these or someone on your combo, but really it should be anybody that's making a play can also call this. Like, I'm making this play. Someone should say, "Wait, no, don't do that. We need to wait a sec," or "No, come get buffed." Stuff like that. Anything like that. So it's anything that can keep your team on the same page. You just need to make sure you talk to each other, and it's really everybody's responsibility. So just keep that stuff in mind as well.
Okay, I will relay that information to my team and hopefully win today's match.
Yep, sounds good.
Thank
Good
you so
luck.
much, Giblert. Thank
No
you.
problem. See ya.
Appreciate that. Yeah.